Here's part 2. Do you have an extrovert in your house? Hi, and welcome back to Supermom Knows Best. I'm Erin. So if you tuned in to our last video, we discussed introverts. Well, today we're going to talk about extroverts, which is my favorite topic because I am one. What makes extroverts more fun to talk about is when you're looking at them when dealing with a child on the autism spectrum. Now, like I said last time, my husband is introverted. I have one introverted son. I have one extroverted son, and I am an extrovert. Things are interesting in our house. When dealing with an extrovert who's also on the spectrum, that makes things more challenging because they have that desire, that need, and that want to have a lot of friends and to be a part of a large group because that's where they get their energy. That's where they shine. It's hard for those kiddos in that situation. They're also struggling with the fact that social skills are not their strong suit. It takes them a lot longer to understand facial cues, sarcasm, and basic humor. Now, both of my boys going through elementary school, they had a wonderful and amazing school counselor who ran social groups for kids who struggled with their social skills. My youngest had to do it much longer than my older one because he just did not understand certain things and he found it very hard to make friends. Over the years, we've had to help him a good deal with understanding different circumstances and situations. For example, when he was younger, he was very demanding. Anytime we played a game or a video game, everybody had to have the controller that he chose. Everybody had to have the piece on the board. You had to go in a certain order. Otherwise, it could cause a meltdown. Now, us, his parents, and his brother, we understood and we went along with it. But his peers did not. They saw it as he was being bossy and controlling, when really he was just trying to make sense of the situation, have some kind of control, and to make things go the way that he needed them to go to feel safe and comfortable. Yeah, as he got older and we explained and helped him through these situations, he learned to ease up, to lighten up, to go with the flow a little bit more. Now he is still extremely rigid and loves to do things in a particular order, but he can handle it better now that he's older. It has not been easy to watch him struggle, especially when he was younger and he thought everybody was his best friend. Everybody was going to be his lifelong buddy. When you knew that the child was making fun of him or snickering behind their back, you try to steer them away. You try to, let's play over here. But he was convinced everybody loves him. And that's hard to watch. And that's hard to direct because they don't understand. They don't get it. But as he's gotten older, he can identify now, and through his social groups at school and through us, he's now able to see when somebody is being sarcastic, when they're being rude, and they're not being a good friend. He can identify the differences, I would say about 90% of the time. We still have a hard time, especially when people are making sarcastic jokes. That tends to be a little difficult. I would say when it comes to children on the spectrum, my guess is introverts probably do better because they don't mind being alone. They would prefer it anyway. They would rather be alone in their room to play with a toy, read a book, watch a video, play a video game, and they choose to be social when they want to be social. An extrovert, on the other hand, craves that group, that party, that when am I going to get to play with my friends? When is the next big, whose birthday's coming up next and who can we plan and let's make sure it's awesome and wonderful. And that's hard because they don't always get invited to the next friend's birthday party. And sometimes you invite everybody you know to come over on a play date and you might have one show up and not the 12 that you invited. I wish I had an answer on how to make it easier to help those children. I see it all the time on Facebook. My child doesn't have any friends. They're all alone. And to that I say, try to identify first. Make sure they're really unhappy. Are you unhappy and hurting for them, as we all would as good parents? Or are they okay with the situation that they're in? Or are they miserable? If they're miserable, I would highly recommend looking into play groups, social groups, play therapy, to where they can be with a group that's like them, and it might make it easier for everybody to learn how to be social together with a group that accepts them for them. And that's the most important thing. That's how we find our tribe. It's how we find our group. As my little one has gotten older, he has found his tribe. He has got his little core group. It's not a big group, it's a little group, and he loves every single one of the people in it. And in fact, him and 2 others, they have a YouTube channel together to where you can see them playing video games. Their videos come out every Saturday. It's called Super Jake Plays. I'm super proud of him because he does the channel all on his own. He films, he edits, and he posts the videos with very little help from us. So take a look at that. If your kiddos like to watch video game channels, it's perfectly safe. No bad words, I promise. I hope you found this helpful. I hope this gives you a little bit of direction. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification so you don't miss my next video. And I hope to see you here again next week.